These two episodes. Holy fuck. Okay, so yeah, guys, Dead Night of Anime here, and if you haven't can tell already, I just got done watching the 1 hour Dragon Ball Super special. I'm sorry it's so late, but I guess like I live in Canada, so like the time that the time that it airs, that this one airs for streaming is a little different, I guess, from like the U.S. But yeah, like, but holy shit, this episode. Okay, so I want to start off by saying this much: the the whole build up and setup of this episode, it brought up a lot of nostalgic feelings and kind of reminded me a lot of the Gohan, like just the whole build up of seeing Goku transform into this whole I think what they call it is Ultra Instinct form is what it's called in the translations I saw. Ultra Instinct form. It reminded me a lot of those of it reminded me a lot of the game those nostalgic feelings of seeing Gohan transform into Super Saiyan 2 against Cell. Like if like the majority of the first episode was just for the most was just Goku getting the ass kicked out his ass kicked around but his ass kicked around by Jiren pretty much, and it just like these two episodes it got brought by a lot of those feelings because it did remind me of how Gohan transformed into his Super Saiyan 2 form against Cell. Like he just like Gohan was getting his ass kicked around but by Cell, just in the same way that Goku was getting his ass kicked around by Jiren, until they both achieved a major power up form. So yeah, in that respect it did remind me a lot of that. So kudos on that if you're making me feel those nostalgic feelings again, Dragon Ball Super. And I before I get into the meat and potatoes of like the Jiren and Goku fight, I really want to talk about the ending. Frieza, you mother effing scumbag. Like, I mean, we all knew he was planning something, and him killing Goku is probably just a part of it, because like I'm thinking that like I don't think it's just gonna end with him killing Goku. I think like it's gonna be one of those things where it's gonna be like where it's probably gonna be Goku, where it's probably gonna be that if like I don't think Frieza's gonna succeed in taking Goku out. We should probably get that straight. But if in fact I wouldn't be surprised if by next episode he probably gets eliminated by another member of the Universe 7 team and gets by a member of the Universe 7 team or something like that, because we all saw this episode that Frieza was definitely planning something sneaky. Like, I think he knew that Goku wouldn't have been able to maintain that form for very long. He was going to be drained, so I think he probably saw his opportunity to kill Goku. But, like, yeah, honestly, I don't think if Frieza, like, this is Goku, so he's not going to get killed, but in the event where he does succeed, or he just kind of walks away, like, Frieza's ambitions just don't stop at killing Goku. He also plans to kill all the gods of destruction to make sure he's the supreme being, of course. So, yeah, like, someone step in and stop Frieza now. If you're gonna get Frieza out of there, stop him now. But, or who knows? Yeah, like I thought they were actually gonna save the whole Frieza betrayal thing until like the very end of the episode, because actually, honestly, if there's one thing that this episode brought forth for me is that I can't help feel that Toei and Toriyama are blowing their load a little early on this one. Like, if like aside from the fact that they brought up this whole Jiren and Goku fight now, as well as bringing up the whole Frieza betrayal thing now, like it really makes me wonder, like, are Toei and Toriyama blowing things a little early? Are they rushing in a little too much? Because what, like, beyond what we're seeing now, like, what is next? What is next? Like, seriously, there has the only thing I can assume at this point. The only thing left I can assume for this one is whatever Dragon Ball Super has planned for I think the Grand Priest. Like, Grand Priest is the only one I can see being being the only main attraction at this point. Because if Frieza gets defeated now, like, then if Frieza gets defeated now or in the next episode or whatnot, and then Jiren gets defeated after that, then what's next for this Tournament of Power arc? Like, that's just my biggest question. Like, what's next after all this? Because it looks like Toei and Toriyama are either that or we're just pulling their load early. Either that or this is all gonna culminate into one giant climax. Like I don't know for sure. Like I guess it's all left up to them and see what happens. Like I'm just really concerned about what's gonna happen next beyond this. To be honest with you, now beyond that, let's talk about this. Holy shit! Now I want to start off by talking about Jiren. I've seen the scans and leaks that say of what they say about Jiren and how he's equivalent in power to that of the gods of destruction. And apparently, in this episode, they say that he was just. It wasn't any training. It wasn't any. He's just naturally that fucking powerful. And I'm sorry, I gotta call a little bullshit there because I don't believe anyone is that naturally powerful. Like, okay, there is Goku, fine, but seriously, an alien being. I mean, I don't know. It's complicated, but I'm sure he is. I'm sure how it was that Jiren was relatively strong, was relatively strong long ago, but I don't think he reached the power of a god of destruction on his own. To be honest with you, like I think my whole take on it right now is that from seeing him fighting Goku in this episode and just how much power he has, I want to assume, like I said, he was probably naturally powerful and gifted in the beginning, and then I bet Belmont discovered him and then decided to personally train him, and through being personally trained by a god of destruction, he got to be that fucking powerful. That's kind of that's my whole take on it. Like I'm sorry, I just have a really hard time believing that any being is that naturally powerful. Like I do believe that Belmont did have probably a bit of a hand in training him personally in order to obtain that level of power. Because just Jiren's power in this episode was insane, just fucking insane, and it just really puts into perspective. Like even Goku, like from what I see in this episode, Goku probably has to recharge in order to use that power again. But yeah, like if a being like Jiren can even scare Beerus, for God's sakes, you know something is fucked about this guy. Like holy shit, he is beyond god level, beyond anything we've seen up to this point in Super. Now, Goku's transformation itself into that I think it was natural instinct form or something, or natural instinct form, I think is what they said. Now, I want to talk about the way Goku transformed. When I first heard about this and how it was going to go down, I was like, okay, how are they going to work if, how are they going to make this work if the spirit bomb only from what we know, how are they going to make this work if the spirit bomb only consumes a person if they're filled with evil thoughts? And from what the way it explained, at least from what I understand, the way, like, I guess their loophole to that is that Goku was in his Super Saiyan God form when it happened, because apparently when he uses any form of Super Saiyan, his true nature as a Saiyan fully takes over. Like he does, like even though he is in control. Even though he is in control, the natural transformation of Super Saiyan brings out all those negative instincts of a Saiyan kind of thing. Like I think that's the way they explain it. And when I first heard about it, I was about to call bullshit on that, but then I thought back to the Frieza fight on planet Namek, and I thought, yeah, I can actually I can see that I can totally understand where they're coming from on that one. So. Yeah, it's one of those things where I can definitely understand where they're definitely coming from on that one. Now, but aside from that, like beyond the whole transformation, there was this whole exposition dump behind it about exposition. There was this whole like exposition dump behind Goku's transformation about how Goku's transformation how from what I understand of it, Goku's transformation pretty much, Goku's being consumed by the spirit bomb actually awakened the actually awakened the actually awakened the instinctual power of his transform. He awakened awakened the power of his whole of that transformation. So yeah, it was complicated. It was a little complicated the way Weiss kind of explained it, I guess. But that's pretty much how it was for those who got confused. Is that Goku being consumed by the spirit bomb, basically awoken and basically an inner fighting instinct within him. Pretty much that's kind of the way I interpreted it. But yeah, I think that is kind of the basics of what it is, pretty much. But aside from all this technical shit, like this episode was just fucking insane. Like Jiren is a monster. I'm not even joking. Like, but yeah, this was probably one of the best episodes of Dragon Ball Super in a while, and I'm just questioning how they're going to be able to top this. To be honest with you, right now, like I said before in the beginning, I think I almost wonder if Toei and Toriyama almost blew their entire load on this, but I guess we'll just have to wait and see. But yeah. Oh, also there is one other thing I want to mention. It is a very small detail, but in the beginning of this episode, Topo says something interesting that I couldn't help but notice, which is Jiren himself desires the Super Dragon Balls, and that only really begs the question for me: what purpose does he want them for? Because if I know Toriyama the way I think I do, I think it's probably one of those things where he wants to revive someone dear to him, or he wants to revive or like his family or a loved one, or he wants to revive his homeworld. Those are the two things I can think of that he wants to do with the Super Dragon Balls, but I don't know for sure. And but yeah, like what more can I say, guys? This episode was fucking insane, beyond belief. Like it was just, it literally, I'm literally beyond what I've just said. I'm literally speechless in this episode. Like it was just that damn good, and yeah, I can't wait to see what happens next. But yeah, guys, that's my review. If you enjoyed the video, like, comment, subscribe, or follow me on Twitter and Facebook. Dead Night of Anime, signing off. Later, guys. Dragon Ball Super is hype. We'll watch that shit if you haven't. Ugh.